Hello, everyone, and welcome. In a world that constantly pushes people to choose one path, there exists a different kind of mind, restless, curious, and endlessly creative. Today, we're diving into a personality that refuses to be limited, often misunderstood, yet quietly powerful in ways most people fail to notice. Have you ever noticed a woman who seems drawn to 10 different things at once? One day she's deeply absorbed in a book, the next she's experimenting with painting, then suddenly she's learning guitar, and soon after she's practicing yoga. What's even more fascinating is that she doesn't just try these things, she actually becomes good at them. Yet, society often looks at her with confusion. People say she lacks focus or can't commit to one thing. But is that really true? Or could it be that what people see as inconsistency is actually a different kind of strength? In today's episode, we're exploring this exact idea, how these women think, what makes them different, and why society struggles to understand them. And if you see yourself in this or recognize someone like this in your life, stay with this until the end, because we'll also talk about how this trait can become a powerful advantage. Let's begin by understanding who these women really are and how psychology interprets them. In psychology, this kind of personality is often described as a multipotentialite, someone with the ability to develop skills across multiple areas rather than limiting themselves to just one. It's a mind that thrives on variety, learning, and exploration. Women with this kind of thinking pattern are naturally drawn toward diverse interests. They don't stay confined to a single field. Today it might be science, tomorrow music, then history, then something entirely different like cooking or design. It's not a lack of direction. It's a constant drive to expand. People often assume they don't stick to anything, but the truth is their minds are wired differently. They are always learning, always exploring. Research in psychology, including studies from institutions like the University of Wisconsin, suggests that individuals with multiple interests tend to show higher creativity and stronger problem-solving abilities. So what looks like distraction from the outside is often a deeper level of engagement with the world. Another noticeable trait is their tendency to question everything. They rarely accept things at face value. If you tell them something, they'll naturally ask why, how, and what's behind it. It's not defiance, it's curiosity. They also value their alone time, not because they dislike people, but because solitude allows them to dive into their thoughts, their ideas, and their passions. It's in these quiet moments that they feel most alive. Curiosity is at the core of who they are. There's always something new to learn, something new to understand. Their mind doesn't settle easily, because it's always searching for something more. But here's where the problem begins. Society doesn't always understand this. People often label them as unfocused, distant, or even arrogant. While others may follow a single path, these women move in many directions, and that difference makes them stand out. When others are caught up in routine conversations, they might be exploring a new skill or diving into a new idea, and because of this, they are often misunderstood. The truth is, society tends to create a fixed image of how a woman should behave, steady, predictable, focused on one thing. Anyone who doesn't fit into that image is often judged unfairly, but being different doesn't mean being wrong. In fact, this diversity of thought is what makes human minds so powerful and unique. Now the question is, why does this happen? Why do some women think this way? One reason is simply how their brain is wired. Some people are naturally inclined toward variety and exploration from the very beginning. It's part of their neurological makeup. Another factor is upbringing. If someone grows up in an environment where curiosity is encouraged, where they're allowed to explore, question, and try different things, their mind naturally expands in multiple directions. A deep sense of curiosity also plays a major role. From a young age, they feel a strong urge to understand the world, and that urge never really fades. Independent thinking is another key factor. These women don't easily accept limitations placed by society. They listen to themselves more than they listen to expectations. And finally, confidence. It takes a certain level of self-belief to keep exploring different paths without worrying about judgment. At this point, if you've stayed with this conversation, it probably means this topic resonates with you. So take a moment to support this by liking the video, and if you relate to this or know someone like this, share your thoughts in the comments. When people share experiences, understanding grows, and that's how perspectives begin to change. Now let's talk about one of the most sensitive areas, relationships. Women with this kind of personality often face challenges because people don't fully understand them. When they're busy exploring something new, others might assume they're being distant or uninterested, but in reality, they're simply immersed in something that excites them. Another difficulty is finding someone who truly accepts this nature. Many people expect consistency in a very narrow sense. They want someone to stick to one path. But a multi-potentialite mind doesn't function that way. It needs space to explore multiple interests. Family pressure can make things even harder. They are often told to settle down, to focus on one thing, to stop trying so many things at once. And while this might sound like advice, it can feel deeply limiting to someone who thrives on variety. Because for them, giving up their interests doesn't feel like discipline. It feels like losing a part of who they are. The fourth challenge they often face is building deep, like-minded friendships. Because their interests are so wide and constantly evolving, it becomes rare to find people who truly understand all sides of them. They may connect with many, but feel fully understood by very few. The fifth challenge is how people label them. When a woman expresses love for painting, dancing, writing, and more, she's often told, "You don't even know what you want." But the truth is much simpler. She knows exactly what she wants. She just refuses to limit herself to one version of life. And yet, despite all these struggles, women with this kind of mind carry qualities that set them apart in powerful ways. They tend to be highly intelligent and thoughtful. Because they explore so many areas, they gather insights from different worlds, allowing them to engage in deep and meaningful conversations on almost any topic. Their creativity is another defining strength. Their mind naturally connects ideas from different fields, which allows them to think in ways others don't. They don't just solve problems, they often approach them from completely new angles. There's also a strong sense of independence. They don't rely on constant validation. They make their own choices and follow paths that feel right to them, even if those paths are unconventional. They are strong-willed as well. When something truly captures their interest, they pursue it with focus and dedication until they reach a level of mastery. Another quiet strength is their honesty. They don't pretend to be something they're not. What you see is who they are, genuine and unfiltered. And perhaps one of the most underrated qualities, they rarely feel bored. Their mind is always engaged, always exploring, always learning something new. Now the real question is, how can this nature become a strength instead of a struggle? It begins with self-acceptance. Instead of seeing this as something that needs fixing, it needs to be understood. There's nothing wrong with having a mind that wants more out of life. It's equally important to keep nurturing your interests. No matter what others say, the things that excite you are not distractions. They are a part of your identity. Surrounding yourself with the right people also makes a difference. Not everyone will understand you, and that's okay. What matters is finding those who do, even if they are few. Boundaries become essential. When people try to reshape you into something you're not, it's important to stand firm and protect your space. And most importantly, recognize what this truly is, a strength. The ability to think across different areas, to learn quickly, and to adapt. These are rare qualities. When used wisely, they can shape an extraordinary life. Of course, managing time becomes crucial. With so many interests, it's easy to feel scattered. But with a little structure, you can give attention to what matters without losing yourself in the process. At a larger level, this is something society also needs to understand. Not every mind is meant to follow the same path. When a woman shows interest in multiple things, it doesn't mean she's confused. It means she's curious. And curiosity is where growth begins. In fact, these are often the women who bring new ideas into the world. They challenge routine thinking, create new perspectives, and open doors that others didn't even realize existed. If everyone thought the same way, nothing would ever change. This diversity of thinking is not a problem. It's progress. And for parents, this understanding becomes even more important. If your daughter shows this kind of nature, don't try to restrict her. Give her space, support her, let her explore. Because what may look like distraction today could become her greatest strength tomorrow. Women with this kind of mind often find success in unique ways. Their ability to learn across different fields allows them to move between industries, adapt quickly, and solve problems from multiple angles. Whether it's education, science, art, or business, they don't just fit into spaces, they reshape them. Their independence keeps them moving forward, even when the path isn't clear, and their persistence ensures that they don't stop halfway. They keep going. They keep learning. They keep evolving. Because women like this don't live life in a straight line. They live it in layers, in depth, and in endless possibility. Once mastery is achieved in one pursuit, they naturally feel drawn toward something new. This cycle is what makes their life so rich, so layered, and so deeply engaging. They rarely reach a point where they feel there is nothing left to explore. There is always another skill, another idea, another world waiting to be discovered. This is also what keeps their energy alive. While many people struggle with boredom or feel stuck in repetition, these women rarely experience that emptiness. Their mind is constantly in motion, always reaching toward something meaningful, something new. Because of this, it becomes important for them to understand one thing clearly. Their M-type nature is rare. Not everyone is wired this way. And that is exactly why it should be valued, not dismissed. Letting go of your interests because of social pressure or other people's expectations can become one of the most painful compromises a person can make. It may make life appear more acceptable to others, but internally, it often creates dissatisfaction and regret. True fulfillment doesn't come from fitting in. It comes from living in alignment with who you really are. And for someone with this kind of mind, that means allowing space for multiple passions to exist without guilt. It is not wise to abandon your nature just to meet someone else's definition of normal, because in trying to become normal, you may lose the very things that make life exciting and meaningful for you. Instead, there is strength in embracing who you are fully. Let your interests exist without apology. Let your curiosity lead you. Let your life reflect everything that excites your mind. And at the core of it all, remember this simple truth. You are allowed to love many things, and you are allowed to be good at them too. In conclusion, women with this kind of mindset are not confused or lost. They are multidimensional, curious, and deeply creative individuals who bring diversity of thought into the world. They should be understood, supported, and appreciated, not reshaped into something smaller than what they are. If you recognize this nature within yourself, take pride in it. There is nothing wrong with you. In fact, there is something rare and powerful about the way your mind works. Keep exploring. Keep learning. Keep growing in all the directions that feel right to you. And if you know someone like this, support them instead of questioning them. Because sometimes, the most extraordinary minds don't walk in a straight line. They move in many directions at once. And maybe that's exactly what makes them special. If you found this valuable, make sure to like the video, share it with someone who might need to hear this, and subscribe for more content like this. Don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you never miss a new upload. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.